17 years before the world knew what was coming, a scientist made one small mistake. And it cost everyone everything. Deep inside a hidden InGen facility on an island the maps forgot, a researcher named Williams is running a routine containment test. He's careless. Bored. Eating a candy bar while machines hum around a creature that should never have existed. Then, the wrapper slips from his hand. Sucked into the chamber. Jamming the door. In seconds, the seal breaks. And something is loose that was never meant to see daylight. They called it the Distortus Rex. The D-Rex. A nightmare stitched together from ambition and neglect, and it's been waiting, growing, evolving in the shadows ever since. Before we dive into the chaos this thing unleashes, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this recap is about to take you somewhere the trailers never showed you. Now, 5 years after the world last watched dinosaurs tear through Dominion's chaos, the planet has quietly moved on. Most dinosaurs are dying off, unable to survive outside a narrow band near the equator. Humanity's fear has curdled into something worse, indifference. Nobody's screaming about dinosaurs anymore. They're just background noise. Until one woman gets a phone call that changes everything. Her name is Zora Bennett. A covert operations expert. The kind of person corporations call when the job is too dangerous, too illegal, or too quiet to trust anyone else with. The offer: infiltrate the last surviving dinosaur habitat on Earth and extract blood samples from the 3 largest living species, one on land, one in the sea, one in the air. The official story is that this DNA could unlock a groundbreaking heart medication, something that could save millions of lives. But Zora's been in this world long enough to know that when a pharmaceutical company is willing to pay this much, someone's always lying about why. She doesn't go in alone. Duncan Kincaid, an old friend, a steady hand, the man who'll captain the ship, signs on without hesitation. Dr. Henry Loomis, a paleontologist with a quiet reverence for these creatures, is brought in as the team's science expert. And representing the money behind the mission is Martin Krebs, a big pharma executive whose smile never quite reaches his eyes. Rounding out the crew are Nina and Bobby, hired hands who have no idea just how short their time on this mission is about to be. Somewhere else, completely unconnected to any of this, a family is about to have the worst vacation of their lives. Ruben Delgado is sailing with his daughters, Isabella and Teresa's boyfriend Xavier. It's supposed to be simple. Open water, clear skies, a father trying to hold his family together after everything that's happened in the world these past few years. Then their boat fails. Stranded, adrift, completely unaware that they are drifting directly into the most dangerous waters left on the planet. 2 storylines. 2 missions. 1 island that's about to swallow them both whole. Zora's team begins their first extraction, out at sea, aiming for the Mosasaurus. It should be clean. Fast. In and out before anything below the surface even notices they're there. It is not clean. The Mosasaurus surfaces, and then the Spinosaurus joins it, and the water around their boat turns into a battlefield. Nina and Bobby don't make it. Zora watches 2 of her own die in minutes, and the mission she was told was simple starts to reveal exactly how wrong she was to trust it. The survivors are forced onto the island itself, the same island that's been hiding InGen's secrets for over 3 decades. And it's here, walking through the wreckage of an empire that collapsed years ago, that they finally cross paths with the Delgado family, stranded and desperate on the same stretch of land. 2 groups. 1 impossible situation. If you're enjoying this recap so far, drop a comment telling me which Jurassic film you think handled its human cast the best. I read every single one of them. With their numbers now doubled and their odds thinner than ever, the team presses forward. They still need 2 more samples. A land giant. A flying predator. And somewhere in the middle of it all, Martin Krebs is starting to feel less like a businessman, and more like a man with a hidden agenda of his own. They track down the Titanosaurus, one of the largest land animals to ever walk the earth. The extraction is tense, deliberate, dangerous in a way that has nothing to do with speed and everything to do with proximity. 1 wrong move, and this gentle giant could crush them without even realizing it. Meanwhile, the Delgados are fighting their own war for survival. Teresa quietly wades across a river toward an old boathouse, trying to retrieve supplies while a sleeping T-Rex rests just meters away. She almost makes it clean. The inflatable boat she pulls loose makes just enough noise to wake the Rex. What was supposed to be a silent retrieval turns into a full sprint back across the water, paddling for their lives as the T-Rex crashes through the river behind them. The boat capsizes. Isabella, the youngest of them, is trapped underneath it, submerged, running out of air while her family scrambles to reach her. They pull her free just in time, dragging themselves onto a cluster of boulders as the Rex loses them in the current. It's the kind of moment this franchise has always understood, that the dinosaurs were never really the point. It's the running. The almost losing. The families who refuse to let go of each other even when everything else is falling apart. Both groups, battered and thinner on luck, finally converge and head toward the one place that might explain what's really happening on this island, the ruins of the original InGen facility. The same lab where, 17 years ago, one man's carelessness let something loose that was never supposed to exist. They're about to find out exactly what that something became. Inside the ruins, the truth is impossible to ignore. Rusted equipment. Abandoned notes. Chambers built to contain something far more dangerous than anything currently roaming the island's surface. And then it finds them. The Distortus Rex isn't like the other dinosaurs on this island. It wasn't shaped by millions of years of evolution, it was shaped by a corporation's ambition and one catastrophic accident. It's faster. Smarter. Wrong in a way that makes every instinct in your body scream to run. Loomis manages to get a signal out, calling in a helicopter for extraction. For one brief moment, it looks like they might actually make it out of this alive. The D-Rex has other plans. It rises out of the ruins and tears the helicopter apart before it can even complete the rescue, forcing the survivors underground into a maze of tunnels beneath the facility, the only path left between them and the harbor. In the dark, with the creature somewhere behind them, the group realizes there's no more running toward safety. There's only running toward the next few seconds of staying alive. The tunnels lead them to a locked gate, their only way out, standing between them and the harbor where a boat is waiting. But the gate mechanism is jammed, and the opening is too small for most of the group to fit through. Only Isabella can slip through. She squeezes into the gap, working frantically at the lock while the D-Rex closes in behind her, and for a moment it looks like this island is about to claim its youngest victim. That's when Martin Krebs, the man who spent the entire film chasing profit over people, finally does something selfless. He draws the creature's attention, buying Isabella the seconds she needs. It costs him everything. The D-Rex catches him, and in one of the film's most brutal moments, tears him apart, his severed arm left cuffed to the sample case the entire mission was built around. It's a gruesome, almost poetic final image, the man who valued the samples over people, literally chained to them in death. Zora recovers the case. The gate swings open. And there's no time left to mourn. The survivors, Zora, Loomis, Kincaid, and what's left of the Delgado family, sprint for the old dock, the D-Rex still somewhere behind them in the dark. Kincaid makes a choice. He draws the creature away from the group, giving the Delgado children a clear path to the boat while Zora works to untie it from the dock. It's the kind of sacrifice this franchise has made before, and for a moment, you're certain you know exactly how this ends for him. As the boat pulls away from the island, a flare shoots up along the coastline. Kincaid is alive. They circle back, pull him from the water, and for the first time since this mission began, the entire surviving group is finally together, and finally safe. If this recap kept you on the edge of your seat, imagine what the full film does. But more importantly, subscribe and turn on that bell, because every Friday I'm breaking down the biggest movies like this one. On the open water, Loomis brings up something he'd mentioned earlier, using what they extracted not for profit, but to actually help people, free of charge. Zora agrees. The boat disappears into open sea, carrying the only thing that made this mission worth its cost. No post-credits scene. Just the sound of the jungle, finally quiet again, for now.